a major, major milestone in the saga known as Build. Okay, how's that? I may have to pull it out of here because this feels a little weird bending over like this. Anybody knows how to do that? That would be great. Maybe I'm just not pulling enough. All right, go. Thanks again, everyone, for being here. Welcome. I want to first make a big shout out to DPW Director Marlo Warner. He said to me less than a half hour ago that he had ordered a stop in the rain at 10 a.m. So, who knew the power of a DPW director? But we know he and his department are extremely special. So, and I want to acknowledge several people for being here. As I just said, this is a milestone event. Took a long time for us to get here, but we're here, and it just proves that this library will be built, rain or shine or hurricanes. So, ain't nothing stopping us now. So, I especially want to thank MBLC Commissioner George, the MBLC, the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners, for their faith in us and for the spectacular grant that they gave us, and for sticking with us, through everything that has happened with regard to the Greenfield Public Library. I especially want to acknowledge Commissioner George T. Como, who is with us here today and will be one of our featured speakers. And Lauren Starr, who is, I don't remember what they call you, but a building specialist? Am I close? She's been the guiding star for the building committee and the person connected to the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners. Has been very helpful throughout this whole thing. And I'm sure she will continue to be. We are about to enter what is a very important phase, the construction phase, which is why we're here today. And also, I want to thank the city councilors for their vote for the remainder of the library funding. They deserve a huge thank you. And I want to especially thank the citizens of Greenfield for supporting this library for as long as you have. The Library Board of Trustees for visioning this, many, many years ago. The Library Foundation for all of your contributions and your significant support going forward. Friends of the library, you're always with us, you always will be. And of course, Ellen Boyer and her staff. Thank you. But wait, there's more. Architect Phil O'Brien, who I think I just saw walk up. Hey. And Johnson & Roberts, the architecture firm. And the building committee, they have worked long and hard, and they have more hours to go. So, and I especially want to thank the Greenfield Fire Department. For their grace and their commitment to seeing these side-by-side projects. We've always known they were tied at the hip. And these men and women have been so helpful and will continue to be helpful. And as you know, we are on our way to getting a new fire station too. And I was told this morning, very early this morning, by one of the men on duty that they're ready. They're ready to find a new home. And I want to now begin the program. So I want to again welcome George T. Como from the Massachusetts Library Building Commission. Mr. Como was first appointed to the NBLC by Governor Mitt Romney in 2004, reappointed by Governor Deval Patrick in 2007, and again in 2013. He served as the board chair during FY 29 and FY 2010. Commissioner Como returned to the NBLC in 2021 with an appointment by Governor Charlie Baker. You just can't get enough, can you? I know the feeling.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good morning, everybody. I am so grateful to be here today. I want to thank you for this invitation. And whether you supported the library or not, I hope you will allow me to speak, hear my words, and I will be happy to talk with you after today's festivities. But I do thank all of you. I thank all of you for being here. So thank you.
You've gotten the brush off long enough.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Happy to talk with you afterwards.
Yeah, sure.
On behalf of Governor Charlie Baker, I bring warm greetings to the people of Greenfield. I'm really proud to be here today. This is my first official gathering since my reappointment as commissioner, and nothing brings me greater joy. I know it's been a difficult path that brings us to this day, and I want to acknowledge all the people of this city. Today, there's a new commitment to the good citizens of Greenfield. Your new building will embody the spirit of your community, and you have chosen to believe in bedrock principles of liberty. You've made an investment in the future of your children, and you're fulfilling a promise to the community, that of creating a new public library. We have seen a revitalization and restored energy in libraries across this Commonwealth. And I can assure you that what you are about to build here in Greenfield is more than bricks and mortar, books and shelves. You're creating a gathering space for ideas and a community center worthy of any great city in this Commonwealth. And today, it's ideas, public discourse, civility that will be the hallmark of your great community. We stand here as a symbol of moving forward and breaking ground on what surely will be a new and highly praised public library. Personally, I always think that a new library is a symbol of strength of a community, and today we are breaking ground on one of your most vital buildings. Vital because so many people ask, do we still need public libraries in the age of the internet and advanced communications? Well, we've seen the full answer on exhibition during this pandemic. Against the backdrop of a national health emergency, libraries have become vital to those most in need. What happens inside your building is the building of minds, of creativity, the sharing of ideas. It's all right. Everybody has a voice. We're hearing your voice. Allow me to complete. I understand. I promise we'll speak after this. I promise.
There's a lot to read.
All right.
To find the fraud in this. We read
What happens inside your new building is the building of minds, of creativity, the sharing of ideas. Transformation happens here. Children will learn to read, write, and imagine. Teenagers will discover a world of ideas. Immigrants will touch our freedoms. And people of all ages gather here regardless of their race, creed, secure in the fact that what happens in this building is free to all. People of Greenfield, you believe in the future. You're creating a space for future generations to gather and promote their ideas in a setting that is both beautiful and useful. Here will stand a building that firmly embodies the capacity of its own people. I know this has been a divisive question, and today, regardless of how you voted, the answer is clear. There will be a new public library, and it will be used by all. I have stood where you've stood, and in the years to come, I assure you, the dissension will fade, and in its place will be a symbol of pride for everyone in your city. I know that you will produce one of the finest libraries in the Commonwealth. You are just beginning this project with much work to come. You've mobilized support, you've raised money, you've drawn plans, you've undertaken a bold task of building a new library worthy of your rich history. Today, we begin to watch your dream take form. Through all your planning and preparation, you are strengthened by the promise that your community will be improved. Finally, libraries are a beacon for liberty. A liberty of expression, liberty of creativity, and the liberty of ideas. The library is a gathering place where citizens can come together and learn from each other is a precious and timely gift. You are strengthening our democracy. I am proud that the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners is associated with this project. We bring to you and with you $9.3 million as our contribution from the people of the Commonwealth. This is a product of vision and dedication. I assure you, it will make all our lives richer and more fulfilling. As we break ground on this historic site, we will begin to fulfill our promises to each other, our children, and the generations to come. In this new library, you will have the gift of freedom guaranteed by the great Constitution and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Thank you so much for allowing me to attend your special day, and may your work here continue to be blessed by your community. Godspeed to the builders of this new library.
And before I have the next person come up, I want to say thank you to Senator Joe Comerford for being here today, and thank you to Jose Delgado from the Lieutenant Governor's office for being here today. Would you stand up and take a little bow, please? Sure, I know everybody knows who you are, but thank you, thank you. Next up is Doris Cowdery. She is chair of the Greenfield Public Library Board of Trustees, and I know she's delighted to have an opportunity to speak again on this project that she has been so much a part of for so many years.
Morning, everybody. You know, if you see tears in my eyes today, please know those are tears of joy, exhilaration, pride in what we as a community have accomplished and will continue to accomplish. I know I will not be alone with those tears in my eyes. Sam, Ellen, Ed, Karen B., and many others. So this is a fantastic day, absolutely fantastic. We've been working towards this day for about 9 years. When we began to consider a new library for Greenfield, we knew some things. We knew that many in our community were active patrons of our library. We knew we had terrific library staff to serve those patrons and a terrific library director to guide that staff. We also knew that our much loved and cherished library building is just woefully inadequate to serve our community. We also knew that we could not do this without some financial help. And you just heard George speak so eloquently to us from the MBLC. We did reach out to the MBLC. First we got a planning and design grant. We went on to getting a construction grant. And as George told you, we were awarded a huge grant of, it's actually $9.378 million. So it's just, I did it up. I did what it is. Our journey to get here today was not always smooth, and many people know that and understand that. But along the way, the MBLC believed in us, they supported us, and they stood by us. And so thanks in part to them, we can be here today, and we can be looking forward to our brand new library, our 21st century library. I do need to give a shout out to Lauren Starr. You heard the mayor mention Lauren's name. She does work for the MBLC. She has been with us every single step of the way. She has a very calm, professional style about her, and it's just a delight to work with. We were very comforted that she was with us. So I need to express our gratitude to Lauren and to the entire MBLC family, again, because we would not be here today if it wasn't for the grant that they have given to us and believing in us. As many of you know, we're also receiving additional support from our Gpl Foundation. There's a lot of people who have worked very hard to raise money, and there's a lot of people who have very generously donated money. So they are very close to their $2 million goal. So we thank them immensely. And you know, I am so excited to experience the impact that our new library will have on our downtown. Yes. Communities that have built libraries across our state have seen almost magical things happen around their new library. And so we have every expectation that our new library will help our downtown to be ever more robust, ever more successful. So, lots of thank yous today, of course. So on behalf of the trustees of the Greenfield Public Library, I want to thank everyone who supported us in any way, who helped out in any way, contributed in any way. Thank you so much. You made it all possible. This was really, truly a community effort. And as we go forward, it will still be a community effort because there's still a lot to do. When we think about the tasks we have to outfit the library, there's so much left to do. Now, but I want to leave you with this thought. Toni Morrison said, "Libraries are the pillars of our democracy." We are going to build you and our community one mind-blowing pillar. Thank you.
Thank you, Doris. And I want to acknowledge also that Paul Mark, who happens to be on vacation, is still represented here by his aide, Chris. Next up, I'm going to introduce Ed Berlin, a co-chair of the Greenfield Library Building Committee. Mr. Farrell was supposed to be here today, but at the last minute had a conflict, and we're sorry to not see him here, but as you know, Ed has perfectly brought us to this point, and I'm sure he can get us through today.
This is the easy part. Wow, we made it. When I woke up this morning, it was raining lightly, and when I got here at 8:30, it was pouring so hard, I wondered how this was ever going to happen. But I had faith, as I've had to have for the last 11 years, and lo and behold, the sun is even trying to come through. So I heard from Mr. Farrell this morning that he wouldn't be able to be here, and I asked him what his message what he would have said if he were coming. And he had really one message to tell people, and that is, we are on time and we are on budget. And I see my friend Dan Pilata, who is our project manager, in the background there, and I know from working with Dan and his history with this city that we will continue to be on time and on budget. We will be building close to a $20 million library. As you heard, we received the grant, and we'd like to say $9.4 million. We like to round up. And I fully well expect that the foundation will meet their goal of raising $2 million. So at the end of the day, the City of Greenfield will have a sparkling new 21st century energy efficient library that will be a pride and for all of us, and it will only cost the city approximately $8 million. So many of us have worked so long to get here, and here we are. We're about to break ground, and as soon as that fire station comes down, which we're told will be sometime in September, hopefully by the middle of September, the next day, once the firefighters move, that station will be down, and we will be building in earnest. And like the mayor said, or Doris said, we hope to be in either at the end of 2022 or the beginning of 2023. So I just want to end by saying thank you for everyone for being here today and for all of your support, because without everybody's support and everybody's help, we wouldn't be here today. But it truly shows when the community gets together what we're able to accomplish. So thank you.
Thank you, Ed. For those of you who know Tim Farrell, which is probably most of you in this crowd, you know that his mantra is on time and on budget. It doesn't matter what the project is, it's on time and on budget. So grateful appreciation for the building committee as it goes forward with all the work that it still has to do. Next up is Ellen Boyer, our Greenfield Public Library Director, who really doesn't need any introduction, but I'm introducing her anyway.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'll stick with the number that Doris mentioned about the number of years. I'll stick with 9, because that's what I have in my speech, not the number that Ed mentioned, 11. Although it probably has been decades, because when I first started here, I found a letter that someone had written to the editor in the early 1980s about how much Greenfield needed a new library in the 1980s. But Doris told you that we've been working on this for 9 years, and that is correct. We have been working hard and in earnest on this project. Lots of things were done during those 9 years. Our steps were thoughtful, deliberate, and bold. I'd like to share just 1 or 2 of my favorite highlights from each of those 9 years. In 2013, the then town council, now city council, voted to spend $25,000 to start to plan and design a new library. In 2014, the MBLC, Mass Board of Library Commissioners, awarded Greenfield $50,000 to go with the $25,000 in local funding to design the library. And in Greenfield, we formed a 24-member advisory committee. We were very deliberate about who we chose to ask to serve on that committee. We tried to reach out to every group, every demographic of Greenfield, and I think we did a great job. Don't you, Joe? And Rachel. In 2015, the city formed a 7-member building committee, and the city worked with the building committee to hire our project manager and an architect. In 2016, this site was selected to be the home of the new Greenfield Public Library. In 2017, after I submitted a 300-page grant application to the Mass Board of Library Commissioners, we placed number 1 on the waiting list for a construction grant. That was wise of the MBLC to put us number 1 on the wait list, because we needed a little bit more time to work on the grassroots community support here. In 2018, the MBLC awarded us a grant of $9,378,183 for the construction of our new library.
take the step? What about removing this from the historical preservation
In
2017? That was
2019,
preserved in the historical commission. You right, she's
If
talking.
you guys-
You removed the historical building from the historical commission in
in
2017.
2019, the city council
Excuse me, can you
voted to approve.
Can you go home?
Guys, could you please stop so that I could talk? Please.
Tell the whole story. Tell the whole story.
As George said to you earlier, I'm happy to talk to anybody afterwards, but please let me have my moment here. In 2019, the City Council voted to approve this new library, and also later on in that year, Greenfield voters went to the polls and approved this new library. In 2020, our building committee was expanded to 20 members, and the city decided to proceed with the library project in spite of COVID. In 2021, now, we hired our general contractor, yay, a local guy out of Northampton, woohoo! And this, today, is 2021. When Jerry Garcia wrote the lyrics, "What a long, strange trip it's been," he certainly could have been talking about Greenfield's trip for a new library. Oh, sorry, my hands are shaking so bad. So it has been my great pleasure to share this trip with dozens and dozens of dedicated and passionate people who never lost sight of our goal and who worked together to make this day happen. I don't know if all of you know this, but this new building will be the first public library building Greenfield has ever built. We moved into the lovely historic Levitt Hovey House in 1909, and it has served us well. We are very grateful for the service of that historic building. But it was a house. It was built to be a house. This new building is going to be built to be a library. The possibilities of what we can accomplish and what we will accomplish in this new building are endless. Even if the sun may not be shining brightly with us today, Greenfield's future shines bright because of this new library. Thank you all for making and taking the time to be part of today's historic ceremony.
We're getting close to that pile of dirt over there. But first I want to mention that after we've done our digging and groundbreaking, so to speak, we will, or you're certainly invited, I don't know if all of you can do it or not, but you're invited to go inside the library for a small reception, coffee, donuts, good things. So please feel free to do that. We look forward to seeing you inside. So I would invite speakers, you know who you are, dignitaries, to the shovels. Let's get it done. I know Paul wants them.
I know. He's been texting me about it. I know. No, I'll make
Let me get through here just quickly. Thank you.
I'm getting bumped into over here. Please stop bumping into me.
Move, and they will.
I'm getting assaulted. Somebody please help me. Please help me. This guy assaulted me.
Thanks for delisting that on the historical commission. You little backdoor deal. Get out of the picture. You little backdoor deal. You realize you would think it's
Grab him. I want to file with you. On Fern Smith. Fern Smith assaulted me. And I just got assaulted by this guy too. Shut up. You're pathetic. Still being assaulted over here. This guy just kicked me.
If you think you're being assaulted, get mad.